just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if it's sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right, it's Bad Weather Fans, episode number 263. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benesowitz, and we are presented by DraftKings. Knicks, stunning win, go into Boston, get to 91-90 is the final. Incredible performances all around, and then some awful basketball, to be honest, for a lot of it, but the Knicks pull out the win. They are up 2-0, and I wanted to start with this. And then I'll let you go, Alex. But when there was guess whatever year it was, when the Nets and Bucks played each other, the last time I can remember us recording an episode after a monumental win was Nets Bucks game 5, where the Nets went up 3-2. Durant
blew
was
them out.
Spectacular. They beat them by 1 or 2 points.
Oh, didn't they blow the doors off? Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Don't get too deep.
Who cares?
Well,
Fuck them.
Well,
okay.
No, fuck you for that. And I was given a point, and I'm going to make it, and I'll let you go.
Make it.
But it was game 5. Nets beat the Bucks, and it was a great win. Durant had a great 3 to put him up 3-2. And we started the show, and you said, Mike, just go. And I always appreciated that. And I think this is probably the biggest win in our podcast since that game.
Yes.
So I wanted to say that you were courteous at that moment. Because it was a great win for the Nets and an emotional one for me at the time. So with that, I did want to, give you the floor and then we'll get into it.
Oh my God. Like Janice from Friends. Oh my God. Dude, you could steal game 1 and it's surprising and it's exciting. And I was bouncing off the walls because now we have a series and they actually could steal the series. But you win game 2 in the same exact way. And you're going back to the Garden, the real Garden, up 2-0 on a Saturday afternoon game. That's going to be wild. Oh, my God. I can't put into words how I feel. I'm running around like a little kid watching this game. I am just trying so hard not to yell to wake up my son. Back-to-back games, I went into my laundry room so I can scream on a selfie video. You can see that on our Bad Weather Fans accounts and on my Twitter at Knick Central. And I just can't fathom that we are here. But Mike, I just have to tell you something. None of this matters because the Knicks lost 4 games to the Celtics in the regular season. So the series is not really 2-0. It really just doesn't mean anything. I mean, the regular season means more.
I was always very consistent with you when I I never got too high on Knicks losses in the Celtics. It doesn't matter. It's about what happens here, and
it's not really you. It's more of the collective you.
I don't know. Well, I don't want to be summed up into whatever bullshit you're dealing with this, but it ain't me. I always said whatever happens, happens. Now, this game, credit to Mikal Bridges. Yeah, he was fantastic. He played well defensively in the first 3 quarters. He was exerting a lot of energy, and I don't want to say even though his box score was horrible with the 0 points, he started that 4th quarter. There was no Brunson, there was no Towns. He came in, he made shots, and you could see him gaining confidence. It was because then he was taking threes later in the game that he missed, but you could see that he was gaining confidence, and you got to give him credit. I mean, he got that score within range, and then Brunson let him do his thing. Towns on the glass. And then from the Celtics perspective, there is something bizarre about this team that they could be up 20 twice as the defending champions at home and lose these games. And it's not like the Knicks played great to come back, but these games were ugly. The Celtics were horrible in just shooting, chucking up.
They have no offensive game plan. It's just chucking 3. Even they get offensive. They got 2 offensive rebounds. They ended up hitting the 3 in the corner.
The one in particular that just killed me.
You keep running back to the line.
They were up 20. Derek White had a 3, missed it. I don't remember how it got back to him. The ball got tipped back to him.
Yeah,
and he missed it again, and then Porzingis missed that little tip in, and it was just he was wide open for a layup. Take that. And you see here too, like when Porzingis is on the floor, it made an impact. And when he is off the floor, the Celtics are awful. It's like a different team.
Yeah, no, he gives that layer that they needed to win the championship and get over the hump last year. He really did.
No, because he's really going to play this many minutes. I mean, this year is done.
He can't, and I don't know what it is. He has got some respiratory illness, and that sucks for him. And I hope he feels better. But I'm happy that he's not able to go. And if there's one player though that can check Porzingis, it's Mitchell Robinson, who's actually a teammate of Porzingis with the Knicks.
Crazy.
So he's the last guy that obviously was the longest tenured Knick. But none of that matters because you know what matters? The Knicks are up 2-0. They came back, hit the big free throws at the end. Mikal Bridges earned his stature as a Knick, made the trade worth it with games like that. And it just is what it is, man. It's just OG Anunoby had a massive dunk that was not an offensive foul. Like you can't just sneak in at the last second.
That's an offensive foul.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
His feet are outside the line.
Yeah, but he snuck in there at the last. He wasn't really set. That was bullshit.
Alex,
I'm sorry.
We had two on Brunson that did the same exact thing on the other way, and they called it. Those were
whatever, but it was a dunk, so it was more exciting. It was much more exciting.
Like Brunson did the same thing.
That was like that Kobe dunk, the preseason Kobe dunk, where he dunked over everybody and they didn't call a foul. I mean, it's preseason, so you're putting on a show for that.
I thought at that point the momentum switched, and at that moment I was it felt like the Celtics finally clicked.
That's true.
They got it up to 20. But they just couldn't sustain it. And, like you come here and break down this game, it's like, oh, who was good offensively? I would say, here's another fucked up part. It's all fucked up in my head. But every time it gets to 20, Josh Hart makes a 3. And it kick started this bullshit. And he got it to 17 again. I said, there's no way they're going to do this again. And he did it again. From my end, he's somebody that doesn't want the Knicks to win, clearly. But
of course,
they go into Boston, they earned it. They play great basketball. For me, I just have to hope it's somewhere that the Celtics on the road go to the Garden and figure it out. Now, it's going to be ruckus, rowdy. It's going to be crazy in there. Like, there's no way around it. I just, as somebody that doesn't want to see the Knicks win, you just have to hold on for dear life that something clicks with them. Because we've seen these weird games where, like, the home team loses the first 2, and then the home team loses the next 2. Like, weird shit like this has happened. But if they're going to play like this and give you the same output at the Garden, it's going to be hard to watch from my end. They're going to have to be so much better if they're going to go into the Madison Square Garden and compete with the Knicks. And something happened with the Knicks in Detroit that switched them because they came together as a team. I don't think the Knicks had the chutzpah. They weren't like together.
That's a fair point.
Something has changed with them. And it feels like now they're on a kind of a magic ride that's in progress here.
Right. They got kicked in the ass. That's a great point. And that actually is probably true. They got kicked in the ass versus the Pistons and it just woke them up. And now they're going into Boston and they went into it with house money and they come back and win game 1. And now game 2 comes and they're like, oh, we can do this. Even no matter how far they go down, they weren't worried. And, it's because the Celtics, we saw this all season, and this is not new to us. This is new to a lot of the casual fans that are getting into the Celtics in the playoffs, of course. Or maybe not casual fans, just people who aren't diehards all the time. You know what I mean? Or watching all the Celtics games. This has literally been the Celtics, and we've talked about this on the show. Like their whole shtick is just chucking threes, and it's not. This genius coach, Joe Mazzulla, has won a championship. They just chuck up threes. No, you know what happened? Every team in the East that they played got hurt last year. They beat the Mavericks, who were pretty good, but they were like a 4 or 5 seed. They got to the finals. And you know what? Well, they won a ring. They got a championship. It counts. There's no asterisk next to it. But you know what? The facts are the facts. They didn't beat anybody. And now they're playing the Knicks. And Porzingis is has this illness, and he's always hurt anyway. So you can't count on him. And you know what? The Knicks are taking advantage, and the Celtics just keep chucking up threes. Like there's no offense. And there's one guy on the Celtics that I just want to punch in the face. And it's Peyton Pritchard. I just want to punch that guy in the face. He's like TJ McConnell. Just one of those just annoying, chucking up, like plays basketball in a very, very aggressive, but like slick, aggressive way. It's just, I can't explain it. Or maybe I just did.
He took some bad shots.
He chucks. And just it's just annoying. Fuck that team, man.
TJ McConnell, I would say is, speaking of the Pacers who are up 2-0 as well.
Yeah, that's what makes this even more exciting is that the Cavs are down 0-2.
And it is if you look at all of it, and if you were to get a Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, the way both of these two teams are playing, it would be highly entertaining. And all the history they had last year.
And Knicks
Uh,
have home court, would have home court. Let's
would
not get
have
ahead of
home court.
ourselves, but they would have home
Oh, let's
court.
get ahead of ourselves, please. Get that on tape. Get ahead of
You know
yourself.
what, man? It's
I'm kidding.
setting it for you from your perspective to make you feel better. It's setting up for like an all-time Knicks disaster. If they go up 2-0 by winning the first two in Boston and then end up losing the series, it would this would be a collapse at this point. You,
Yeah,
you gotta win,
yeah.
like
You
you
know
gotta win one of the two at the Garden. Like, you
they
can't
have
come back to
so
Boston 2-2. Then you're fucked. Like that's
well.
it.
The pressure's there because here there's no pre. If the Celtics win Game 3, the pressure is then it's there.
Right. Then it's back on the Knicks.
And
Yeah.
in a weird sense, I'll get kind of like deep on you. Like I have truly, I've gotten to a place where like I just can't stand the Knicks, like at an all-time level. But there was something about them tonight. It didn't even hurt me as much because it was just so improbable again. And I guess like accepted it in my head. So when
Right.
you're like, oh, if the Knicks go lose, it'd be an all-time crusher. In my mind, I'm like, I don't even think that's possible after what I
Yeah.
just saw. But again, anything, I mean, crazier shit has happened to be fair. And yeah, that would be sweet. I did want to start by saying like I thought Bridges was great. Like that
He
was the
was.
Bridges that I saw 2 years ago where he was confident. He
After
wasn't
the
scared to
trade, yeah.
miss. He got another huge defensive stop to end the game.
Hmm.
And just to consistent again, like I said last series, I said Bridges could come in here and have the all-time series score 50 points. Doesn't change the fact of what the Nets did to restart. I just said it would suck in the moments to see this. And that was pure torture. I mean, at its purest level,
Hmm.
to see the guy that kind of said "fuck you" to the Nets, went to it with his friends, and then had a moment where he really shined. Had a great fourth quarter, made some key stops. It was pure torture, man. Like
And
it was
and you could
hard. It
see
was
the
hard to watch.
cohesiveness. You could see the cohesiveness between the Villanova three also. Once they saw Bridges was cooking, Hart and Brunson were feeding him.
They were.
And Bridges started cooking before Brunson and Towns came back into the game in the beginning of the fourth, and that was the whole offense. And that was what was going on in that Pistons game when Brunson and Hart couldn't get back into the game. Nobody could score a basket. Like Payne and Bridges, they kept missing like these easy
Yeah.
shots. But in this game, Bridges was hitting them, and then like Brunson came in and they just kept feeding him the rock, and he just kept scoring. And Hart is like he can't. He's afraid to shoot, and it's a big problem. Like, but you know what? He around the basket, he is making tough layup after tough layup, and it's unbelievable. And Brunson and him have like this ESP with each other. It's incredible. And now we have to go talk about Karl-Anthony Towns, the enigma that is Karl-Anthony Towns, because he can look like the best player in the NBA one play, and then the next play he's getting clamped and he just like looks like he sucks.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Where it's just like I think it's forcing it. He's trying to be the hero and he's just going one on one, and it's like you don't have it, you got to kick it out. You know what I mean? And he's trying too hard to score, and it just makes him look like he sucks or he's looking for a foul, and it's hard, man. But
I got to give Tibbs credit. He did something really smart
yeah,
when they were doing hack a Mitch, and he knew that was the third foul,
Mhm.
and he got it to the fourth foul. That
Yep.
was key. It was a smart strategic move, and I thought Missoula left Tatum on the bench way too long.
He was awful though. He was awful.
It doesn't matter.
But he's Tatum. Yeah, he's
It
Jason
doesn't
Tatum.
matter if he's
Yeah.
awful.
The Finals MVP. Yeah, I know.
Brunson wasn't great, but
Yeah.
I mean, he came through at the end, but he didn't have a good game. You got to put him back in. Now, whatever the rotation was, like 7-8 minutes, he came in 7 minutes, and you gave him that 3-4 minute rest. It was like too long. Like, got to put him back in the game earlier. And then Celtics had a timeout in their pocket. Missoula let him go, and it was just chaos. It was just chaos.
They have no flow. They have no game plan. Their game plan is to shoot a three, and when it's a play like that, they don't know what to do. Yeah.
Horford was horrible. That game sucked. I mean, that game I get it. I understand how you're feeling right now. And it's
On
just
top of the world.
pure jealousy because that's it.
Yeah,
It's just pure
I'd say
jealousy.
sorry, but I'm not sorry right now,
have to be
and I'm just
sorry.
so happy, and I can't. even understand what's going on right now. Like I thought the Knicks would give the Celtics a series, but I did not think they'd win the series, and I certainly did not think they would win the first two. There is not a person on this planet that thought the Knicks would win the first two in Boston. Even after they won the first game, I guarantee you, not many people. The Knicks were like 10.5 point underdogs in this
Oh,
game.
then yeah, and you're down 20, you're down 18 with 12
Right.
14 minutes left collectively. You're like, okay, you got your win. OG
Yeah.
Anunoby looked gassed at points. I was like, they look tired. I was like, okay, they're gonna leave here. The Boston got their split. We'll go to game 3 and away we go. But to do that again, I don't know. I don't know if it's like to give the Knicks all the credit or some of it is like, what the fuck, Boston, are we doing?
It's a
The
little
Knicks
both.
just took
It's a little both.
advantage of
Yeah.
it because it was
Yeah.
like I can't sit here and be like the Knicks were awesome tonight. They weren't.
No.
They weren't. But
They
they
had
were
like 50 points in like the middle of the third quarter or
they
something.
weren't.
You know,
It wasn't like you were watching the Knicks going, "This was a great game by the Knicks."
No.
They really were.
They closed. Yeah.
They just closed and credit, you've been saying it all year, but a difference maker with Mitchell Robinson. He
Oh, yeah.
changes the game. And outside of maybe the ugliest free throw I have ever seen in the sport,
I got to tell you, I knew
That
he was
was
going to
one
miss
of-
that one. I didn't know he was going
Alex,
to airball it.
that
When he
wasn't
stood
an
there and
air-
he did like the practice with his finger, and then he was like stretching his arm out. I was like, oh no, and he took like forever. I was
that
like,
wasn't an air ball. That was a line drive. That was
that was an inbound. That was a pass to the ref. I was like,
that was bad. I mean, that was one of the ugliest free throws I've ever seen in my life. Like
It was
maybe
embarrassing.
that was,
Yeah.
but he was. Other than that, he was great.
If only we could combine Towns and Mitchell Robinson into one player, and it'd be really great.
maybe Keem Olajuwon.
Or Anthony Davis, right? Yeah, but I can't believe it. I think Deuce McBride hit a big three when it came back, like we're coming back.
did.
And
He did.
he had a couple good plays, a big
He
dunk.
did.
Everybody stepped up, man. Everybody stepped up. Everybody played their role, and everybody stepped up, and they stayed within striking distance, even when they like. There was a point where there was like 4 minutes left. I think Reggie Miller was like, "This is a huge possession." I forgot what the score was, but it was like getting to a point where the Celtics can hit a three here, and this game might be over. And I don't remember what the score was, but it was like around 4 minutes, and they Knicks made the stop, and you know what, and away they went, and they didn't look back. And it was like a 21-2 run or something. Like this is just
God.
incredible, man.
It was
Like
two-
they
it
just
was-
flipped a switch.
It was two of them. It was the back-to-back missed Derek White threes,
Right.
and they were up 20 on a fast break. Tatum bounced past to Brown, and he missed him. And
Right.
that was
on the
like,
breakaway,
any of
and they were
these-
like laughing, like, "All right, I got you next time. We're up. Don't worry."
and
Like,
it,
it's like, all right.
it just steamrolled. And I will say too, like I thought the Celtic crowd was horrible.
There were a
they
lot
were
of Knick fans there,
horrible.
man. I know
There was a
wasn't
good
like,
chunk, but
It wasn't like taking over Orlando in the
No.
regular season. It was, but there
the
was a
Celtic
lot of Knick
fans.
fans there.
It wasn't about. I heard the Knick fans when they.
Yeah,
I thought the Celtic fan. I'm talking about the people there.
right.
I
No
thought the
buzz.
Celtic fans had no juice, no buzz, didn't care. It was almost like whatever. We won last year. Something about their energy, I thought was extremely lackluster.
Yeah, man. It's man. I don't want to jinx it, but like, man, like this is. I'm out of words. I don't even know what to say. But it's hard not to look ahead and be like, "Oh my God, the sea is parting for the Knicks." Moses is Jalen Brunson, and he's parting the sea, and the Knicks are going to walk towards an NBA championship right now, and that's what it feels like right now, up 2-0 in the Celtics. I don't want to jinx it, but man, is it hard to not think like that as a Knicks fan right now?
I get it.
It's crazy that we are here.
No, I understand. The mind can drift. It's hard not to.
It's okay to
Think
dream.
about
It's okay to dream.
Like to me, it's funny because I look at the last couple of years in the round twos, the Knicks. You went into the series versus the Heat. You thought you were going to win. You didn't. You went into the series with the Pacers. You thought you were going to win. You didn't. This round two was the opposite, and it's flipping. So I will say, and if we will get ahead of ourselves, like if you're seeing the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, that is not a guarantee that you're going to the finals. But I will say,
No,
You'd
not a
rather be
guarantee.
in that situation
Yep.
than if I said, hey, before the playoffs, you're going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Pacers, you'd sign up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You
Especially
give
we
you
owe them
give up
one.
you
We
give
owe
up
them one.
you give him one of your toes, as
You
we've
can even
talked
go
about.
back further in this Tibbs era, Mike. Knicks Hawks. I thought the Knicks were going to kill the Hawks. They lose. Knicks Cavs. I honestly thought the Cavs would win with Donovan Mitchell, and they beat them. I mean, I thought the Knicks would beat the Pistons, but that was a lot closer than I thought it would be. But most of the time when I feel like the Knicks are going to win a series, they don't. So here we go.
I'm
So
just happy, like at least for me, I can see Monday. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm
yeah,
excited. I'm excited for the lottery. I'm excited for the lottery.
right.
I mean, don't belittle me like with the rights. What do you want me to tell you? I'm excited for the lottery. Like I understand.
You should be. I mean,
I'm
it's the
excited.
last thing I care about right now. That's why I'm like, all right, yeah, right,
It's a
yeah,
good
sure.
distraction for me. I'm excited for the lottery. I've waited all season for it.
Waited all year for my dad's birthday on Monday for the NBA lottery, and yeah, the Nets just gotta just keep praying, man. Just keep praying.
God, I need the
And
Celtics to just come back and just ruin all this because it's just this is going to be this is going to be insufferable. And I understand, like, what I can't
can you
hate on
imagine they
it.
win Saturday and then we're recording Monday? Knicks up 3-0.
I'm not recording. Depends what happens in the lottery if we're recording. I would take. I mean this. I've been asked this before. I would take a Knicks championship to win the lottery. I would do it.
That's fair, especially this year. It's not like
And
last
I'm
year's
like,
lottery. Like,
fuck it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's.
If you can get the generational player that you think is a generational player, it's like one of those random years where that the top pick is going to be like a player. He might not be the superstar, but he's going to be a player.
Gives you hope.
You know,
Yeah, man.
like it's like the Zion draft. You know what I mean? You win that draft, it's like, oh my God, we got Zion. Even though he's been underwhelming and injured and this and that, but he's still an all-star. You know what I mean? He's still a
Yeah.
great player.
I had so many Celtic fans reach out to me and say, I had personal apologies from Celtic
Oh
fans.
yeah, what'd they say?
They said, I'm sorry, our team sucks.
Oh, because you hate the Knicks. Get it?
Yes,
get
I
it.
hate the Knicks.
I get it.
They know I hate the Knicks. I was
I
thinking about
understand.
putting together a thread, and I'm not going to do it now. But actually, now, wait, I won't tell you what it is.
Okay, don't. So,
Um,
who do you think will represent the Nets on the dais for the NBA draft lottery? Let's take another guess. One last
Mitchell
guess.
Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson for the Nets. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then
You?
I think I'm gonna go with hmm, let's say Kerry Kittles. How
I
about
think it's
that?
going to be Jordy.
Yeah, just the coach.
I think
Straight
he's going
up.
to be the coach. I think
So boring.
it doesn't matter.
I know, but do something
Uh,
fun. Vince
uh,
Carter, Richard Jefferson can't because he's probably working. But like Vince Carter, I think would be great.
you should go up there.
Yeah, no, you should. You and Mike, or how about like the Whammy dude, the old
I,
that old guy, Mr.
I
Whammy.
am Mike. Yeah. No,
Yes,
yeah.
you
People
and
have
Evan.
said
I meant to
whammy.
say, yeah, you and Evan should both be up there, just
Man,
arm
tomorrow
in arm. Like,
I will not listen to sports talk radio at all tomorrow.
oh my
I will
God, I'm
tune it
gonna
off.
be all day long.
Tune it
I'm
off.
gonna
I will put
record it. I'm
on.
gonna go back and re-listen
No, this is
everything.
it. One
But I
time.
don't
You
want to
will
hear
not
any
hear from
shtick
me.
from anybody on the radio tomorrow. I don't want to hear anything of the
Well, tomorrow is not
hyperbole
a
and the
shtick
bullshit.
day.
Just give
Tomorrow's
me some
a
happiness, and that's it.
tomorrow is a tomorrow is we won. Like this team is doing this. This is it
Tomorrow,
feels
yeah,
like it
yeah.
feels
Go
a
ahead.
lot like the Mets. It's a lot Mets like where they had like it's different in ways, but like Philly won the division.
Hmm.
They beat them. This is different too. I'm not saying they're equal, but this feels like that there's something magical happening.
Right.
With the Knicks. Like, what can I tell you, man? Sucks to say out loud. I don't like saying it,
Yeah.
but the way Bridges is playing, they're coming together as a team. Um, they're not even playing great, and they're still beating the Celtics. Like to me, that's a huge takeaway. They didn't play well, but they won.
No, and that's
Um,
the beauty. And they had him on the ropes, and they got him, and they knocked him down for a stand, and they got him standing 10 right now. And let's see, you know, it's man, I don't even words cannot
okay.
describe
Well,
my
I'm glad.
feeling right now.
I mean, I'm glad at least you're not doing this with a Knick fan, where you could, like
Just yell.
have a fun party, and at least I'm here, and you have to be through this. But
Yeah,
hey, no, Knicks
yeah,
Knicks were great. I mean, Knicks were great. They go into Boston, they get 2 wins. The exciting time if you're a Knick fan. Like no way around it. No way around it. It feels like it feels like I said before, if they can the pressure, if they go in, get game 3, but I wonder if they'll feel any kind of pressure switch now that they're up 2-0, and can they go in there and get it? Because if
Yeah.
the Celtics have to just find a way, like, are you great or are you dog shit? Can you go in there and win in the Garden? I'm happy the game's at 3:30 and not 8.
Oh yeah.
Not that I
It's a
think the
different
Knick crowd is
crowd.
going to be amazing. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, but I do think there's something about Saturday night that'll be a little scarier.
Yeah.
During the
Sauced
days, a
up
little
crowd.
less. They'll be
Yeah.
sauced up, but just
Yeah.
like a little less.
Right.
But
There are gonna be
I
more kids in
expect
the
that place to be
building,
nuts. That place is
younger
going to be
people in the
nuts.
building. Yeah, but
That place is going to be nuts.
man,
That place is
I
going
wish
to
I
be
can go,
nuts.
but it's gonna be like $1,000 a ticket for like upstairs.
It's probably going to be expensive.
Yeah,
Probably
not
going to
worth
be
it.
expensive.
Not
Maybe
worth it.
tweet at Josh Hart and I'll get you a ticket.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, now I know. Oh my God. How did we get here, Mike? How did we get here?
Do you remember when my intro and I was talking about the Bucks win? It was Game 5. So the Nets won Game 5 versus Milwaukee. It was a tight back and forth
I
game.
don't remember that. I just remember the blowout, and then you're like, oh my God, we're gonna go. Like we're going to the finals, you
I
know?
felt after Game 2 when they beat the Bucks by 49, I was
Yeah.
like, that was the only time in my net fandom. Um, I can't. Younger Nets, New Jersey Nets are different, but like I'm talking about in the last 20 years, where I said this team's going to win it, and I
Where you
never.
really
I was
believed.
like,
You really were like, oh my
they
God.
are killing the Bucks without Harden. I was like, this
Yeah.
team is great. And then
Hmm.
things can change fast in series. I will tell you that. They just injuries and things can change fast. They just can't. I mean, look at the Pacers, right? Like, well, we can wrap up with this topic, but the Cavs all year, right, not playing guys that many minutes, and the Knicks. Tibbs did it this year, and it's worked.
Yeah.
It's worked. And Mitch was hurt all year. They got healthy at the right time. The Celtics. Uh, Here's what I want to say: you need some luck, and it feels like the Knicks are getting the luck, and that's not all championship teams have a little bit of it, but you look at like the Cavs, bad luck with some of their injuries. Knicks healthy at the right time and gelling when it matters the most. And yeah, I'll say it. They have a real chance, a very real chance to be in the NBA Finals, and that is a real thing. And if once you're there, who the hell knows?
Yeah. Just finish the Celtics off. Let's finish them off. Let's get to the
They're in
next
the
round.
finals. They're in the finals.
And then
You ready for the parade?
you want to jinx. Yeah, I know.
I don't want to jinx it. I've seen these kind of things before. This
Uh-huh.
is the team of destiny. I can tell.
Oh God. So you know what? You brought up the minutes thing, and we wanted to talk about this. And yeah, let's end with this though. All year long, everyone trashed the Knicks for playing too many minutes. Tibbs, can't believe you're playing too many minutes. Minutes police, we're going crazy, and playing them too many minutes, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody was kissing the Cavs' ass for their long rotation, playing guys less minutes, even the stars. And fast forward to right now, the Knicks are up 2-0, the Cavs are down to 0-2, and the Cavs have 3 players out with injuries, and they're complaining that they're tired and fatigued after games, direct quotes. And then the Knicks are playing Mikal Bridges 51 minutes in game 1. And
How many minutes
they're
is that,
coming
man?
back in the fourth quarter in both games 1 and game 2 because they're in shape. Maybe they have the legs to make these runs at the end of the game when the Celtics don't. And the Celtics played guys a lot of minutes, but it was nothing like the Knicks. And maybe that has prepared the Knicks for the championship run. Let's see, Mike. Let's see.
Al Horford, 2 for 11, 0 for 5 from three. Jalen Brown, 8 for 23. Tatum, 5 for 19. They like just some awful. Porzingis, 13 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds. And yeah, you could, like I said, when he was in the game, it was a difference. And when he was out, They were they took advantage 91-90. Credit to the NBA too, because I know a lot of people shit on the league. Nobody has shit on the league. These playoffs have been really good.
Yeah, they've been great.
The Knicks Piston series have been great. All of these the Clippers, excuse me, the Nuggets Thunder game. I mean, all these games have had unbelievable finishes. The Nuggets Clippers had an unbelievable finish, and it's just
Mhm.
like people all year always want to crap on the league, but you see what happens when you get in the playoffs and things tighten up. You get incredible basketball, and unfortunately, you're never going to just get that in the regular season because it's pointless. I mean, the season's pointless. Sorry, a lot of it's pointless.
It
It's
is,
about what you do now. And
especially the end of the season, like towards the last 2 months of the
God,
season. It's just a mess.
my son, you'll like this, Alex. So,
Mhm.
so at 7 o'clock, the game was on, and we had a hate watch party, with my wife and two kids, and my son was watching. He goes, "Why aren't the Nets playing? I want to watch the Nets." And I was like, I was trying to explain to him, he's like, he'll be 5 in September, but he's like asking questions.
Starting to understand.
I'm like,
Yeah.
well, they just weren't good enough, and the playoffs are here, and these are the better teams that are left, and only one team can win. And he's like, okay, well, who are we rooting for? I go, the green team. He goes, oh, are they the Broccoli's? And I was just like,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes. They are the
But I
Broncos.
was just, to answer him, why aren't the Nets here? I was like, how much time you got, kid? It's like, they suck.
Oh my God. That's so funny. I'm just reading through some quotes and seeing if there's anything good.
Quotes
Karl-Anthony
from
Towns, we just never quit. We truly play to the last horn. We leave it all on the court and let the result be what it is. Mikal Bridges, they helped me up throughout the whole, me missing every shot until that point. It's really truly them just holding me together and keeping me mentally right and just telling me to keep going. Mikal Bridges crediting his teammates. So
yeah. Thank you for putting me on that podcast and getting me out of Brooklyn.
getting Mike really mad, posting a viral
Yeah.
selfie video.
No, I'm like, going on Twitter and just seeing your face. There's other faces that just trigger you, man.
Yeah.
You have to separate the noise and get through it. And like I
And where is
said,
Brian Windhorst now? Where are you, Brian Windhorst? How are you going to belittle the Knicks now? You
wh-
backhanded,
why does he hate the Knicks so
sly
much?
talking motherfucker.
Why does he
What?
hate the Knicks? Why does he hate the
I
Knicks
have
so much?
no
I
idea.
mean, I have reason to.
Right. You
You
know my
suck.
theory, my theory, my theory, and it's conspiracy theory. This one I'll admit is a conspiracy theory. He is LeBron's boy, right? Yeah, LeBron took a shot at him, but give me a break. That was all staged, in my opinion. He is LeBron's boy, and Jalen Brunson's getting a lot of shine, and he doesn't mess with
Oh, I don't think
Clutch
he
and any of
cares.
those teams, whatever their Clutch, who's Clutch, whatever I don't even know the agencies, whatever.
Ah,
Brunson's agency is CAA, and Clutch is LeBron. Clutch and CAA hate each other. Brunson's got his own clique. He doesn't need the LeBrons. All of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, Brian Windhorst takes a shot at Jalen Brunson, calls him a foul baiter, and then now that moniker's left on him. And now Brian Windhorst has to dig in to save his reputation and just keep trashing the Knicks because he knows he was wrong, and he can't be wrong. Like everybody on TV can't be wrong. And you know what? The Knicks are just going to keep proving him wrong and proving him wrong. And that's my conspiracy theory, Mike.
I,
Industry plant, as I
I
would call
wouldn't
him. He's
say.
an industry plant.
I think there's something to digging in on your opinions and wanting to be right. I mean,
Okay.
there's clearly something that like if someone said, "Hey, Mike, why don't you like the Knicks?" I would say, "Well, I find their fans to be insufferable. I think a lot of them think they know more than they do, and they drive me crazy. And I've been
Yep.
around them my whole life. And I would
Fair.
say
All fair points. Yeah.
they've belittled me as a net fan and made fun of me and my
Understandable.
franchise. So I would say
Right.
it's probably that as a combination.
Okay.
Now, I can't speak for Brian, but if you were going to tell me, I would say 30 years of that would get me to why I dislike the
Right.
Knicks.
Brian Windhorst is born and raised in Cleveland. No reason to hate the Knicks. I don't
Yeah.
understand, why. So that's my theory. It's agency stuff. He's an industry plant put out there to trash players that are against LeBron and trash players that are getting more shine than LeBron to get them back in line.
See, that part I don't know if I go with, but I do think the idea of just planting that you're right on a topic and not wanting to
Right.
concede. But maybe you're
Maybe
right.
it's
I
both.
don't
Who
know.
knows?
Maybe there's
Maybe
something in
I'm.
there.
This is
I
not like what was my theory recently that you said wasn't a conspiracy? That you said was a conspiracy theory that I
that the
said it wasn't.
Knicks that the Pistons bench talked to the scorekeeper and
Oh,
told
the
them to
scorekeeper thing. Yeah,
specifically
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
The time clock guy.
To me,
Yeah,
I
that was
think was
BS. Oh, that
outrageous.
was totally. That wasn't a theory. That's true. But this
That was
theory,
not
this is a
proven.
theory.
And now that
This
we
is
found the
just.
guy was from Ontario, we haven't talked about that.
Oh, he's from Ontario.
No, I just made that up. Um,
Yeah, he was hired by the NBA outside, but
the guy
from
made a
born and raised in
mistake.
Detroit. Yeah, okay.
Conspiracy. You're just the I was not looking forward to doing this. I will say for me, I'm gonna make it about me.
Go
It
ahead.
does
Your show.
it does actually help to work through this because this is going to be an annoying couple of
This
days.
therapy session for you right now.
And this will be like I mentioned before. Game 3 is Saturday. It is my
Yeah.
birthday, and it will be the third straight year I get a Nets. I get a Knicks round 2 playoff game. So I'm just
Knicks
thinking of
go
that.
up 3-0 on Mike's birthday. That's amazing.
Or I get a 2-1, and then it turns where you're like,
Right, where
okay,
you can dream again and get
I
back
can,
into like,
yes.
all right, they're gonna blow this now. Yeah.
And then it gets into the Knicks' heads, and I think whoever wins Game 3 is going to win the series.
That's fair. And you know what? That's
I mean, not that saying like Knicks go up 3-0.
well, yeah,
but
no,
I think they get
it
Game
doesn't have
3.
to be
They're
a
going to
crazy
win.
statement.
They come back.
That's fair. And or at least go 7 if they win game 3.
The Landry Shamet effect.
You know what's I forgot what I was going to say now. Never
Good.
mind. No, it's kind of good for the Knicks that game 3 is on Saturday and then game 4 is on Monday because people have a lot going on the weekends and they're not like glued to the radio, the TV, and talking about the game over and over if they lose. Because then you just got to get through. By the time you get to Monday, you're already on to game 4. You're not as negative as you were if you lose game 3. You know what I mean? If you lose
Yeah.
game 3 on a Monday and then game 4 is on a Wednesday, you have 2.5 days of just talking about the, you know what I mean? Or 2 days,
Yeah.
2 full days talking about the negativity of the loss. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
that's
I'm
just
doing
what
this
I'm trying
show
to
with
say.
you, and then I'm disconnecting from it.
Yeah.
People can say what they want about it, but like, what I don't need to hear the love fest from Knick fan. Like, what can I gain from that? I'm not doing it. Now you do whatever you want. God bless it. You go do it. Like I do think of Evan, who hates the Knicks, slightly less than me, but does hate them.
Yeah.
And like he's got to go in there. I mean, it's his job, and yeah.
Oh, he loves it though. Yeah. 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 No, I
but
know.
yeah, you look casual.
But
when you
tomorrow-
do somebody like that. You remember
I look
Richard
cool.
Jefferson was here. Text RJ, see if he wants to come on.
Oh, yeah. Hey, RJ, you want to come on? Yeah, I feel like tomorrow is the easiest day to do sports talk radio in either New York or Boston, where it's just what you're going to talk about,
Yeah.
what's going to happen. It's
Layup.
either all negative or all positive, and those hours are going to breeze on by if you're a host, So,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah, like there is no chance I listen to any WFAN programming tomorrow.
You don't want to listen to
Zero.
Boomer Esiason read a stat sheet,
I don't want to listen to Boomer. Boomer hates. I have a theory that
but there was no
Boomer-
Hauser. There was
I have-
no Hauser.
I mean, they did miss him. I have a theory that Boomer doesn't like the Knicks winning. This is completely made up by me. This
Right.
is my conspiracy theory. This is not me having any connection with anybody or hearing anything. I think that he doesn't like that it takes away the shine from the Rangers.
Rangers suck though. Like,
But I don't. But
yeah.
I don't. I don't know. Part of me thinks he doesn't like it, and because I think
You
he
could
hates
be right.
the NBA. But
You're right.
whatever.
But you know what, Mike?
Now I'm just being a hater.
You know what, Mike? The second team in town in the NHL is the Islanders. We won't count the Devils. I'm talking about in New York.
Why wouldn't you count the
Got-
Devils?
Well, because they're in Jersey. I mean, whatever. Fine.
Oh,
There's 3 teams in town.
There are
There's
3
teams
teams.
in town. But the Devils are the third team,
But
right?
see, the Devils have a small fan base, but they have a very good fan base.
Okay. So for the point
No,
of this discussion,
I'm not going to let you say that because if the Nets were still in New Jersey and we were doing this podcast, and would you be like, well, there's only one team in town? The last team in the New York area to get to the NBA Finals was the Nets. That is a fact.
okay. So anyway, of the 3 teams in the New York metropolitan area, in the tri-state area, in the NHL, the number 2 team is the Islanders, and they just won the lottery and got the number 1 pick. So maybe that'll happen to the Nets because they're the number 2 team in town and they're in the lottery. Maybe they get the number 1 pick, and there's 2 number 1 picks in New York coming up.
God. Well, I can't wait to just watch that 10 seconds. I mean,
Dude, it's not. You think it's stressful watching the Knicks win? It's that 5 minutes of.
yeah. Stop having an orgasm on this show.
And you can clip that sound for me.
I didn't. It was. So
that was.
I did it.
It sucks.
I
Lotteries
know.
Suck. Like they are not fun.
I mean, because it's been so long since the Nets were actually in one.
Right.
But I remember Derek Favors
For the 5 minutes he was in net.
I remember when they won with Kenyon.
But that was also a buzzkill because Kenyon broke his leg or something, right? And so it's kind of like,
yeah,
you got the best player, but is he going to be as good as he might have been? But I guess who knows?
Yeah, and it's also like it's literally they turn it. I mean, once they put the lottery on, you'll get to pick 3, but from pick 13 or whatever it is, 14 to 3, it's
quick.
It's gonna be 3 minutes.
Yeah,
3 minutes for.
And then if
it
you're
sounds like when you lose your virginity, it's like you wait your whole life for 3 minutes.
You're like, that's it,
and that was it. That was it.
Yeah, but that commercial break, if you get in the top 4,
hopefully they get there. They're the 6th seed,
I know,
whatever you want to call it.
I'll be positive they'll be in the top 4. Let's be positive. So you get to that commercial break, and you're just like, you're gonna be.
Wait, is it 4? They go. I thought it was break at 3.
I think they break at 4.
They break at 4.
I think so.
I honestly don't remember.
I think so because I think it's 4 because I remember they came back from commercial and Ewing was on the dais and they brought everybody out to stand off the dais. So like now you have the top 4 people representing the team standing together, which was weird. And they did 4 like really quick and then went to 3 like really quick. And it was just like, oh, there wasn't even any build up from that moment when you wanted the build up. And it was just like, all right, well, at least we got RJ,
Well, it ended up working out because you dealt him, you got OG, who's
OG,
a key.
But without quickly at the end of that round, you even get our OG, in that trade. So
no, that's why.
Yeah,
that the Bridges pick.
Oh yeah, there you go. See,
could
bring
be
it all
something.
Together.
Like I've said, and I will beat this to death. Doesn't matter. Like it was still good. Like I'm not trying to minimize anything. He was great.
He's never going to live up to the 5 picks, but if he keeps playing like this in the playoffs and keeps winning games and helping them win games,
no, he's helping
the trade's worth it. The trade's worth it.
He was. I mean, he couldn't score for the first 3 quarters, literally, and then he got really hot and he was aggressive. And because I at first was like, what is Tibbs doing? Like, you don't have Brunson, you don't have Towns. Like, how are you going to score?
Yeah, he lucked out there. Yeah, he lucked out. He wasn't sitting there like, I know Bridges is going to get hot now. You know what I mean? That's not what he was thinking. Yeah. Well, maybe he was. Maybe he's like, maybe Bridges just needs the ball. You know what I mean? Like, let's get everybody out of here and let's see if he can do something. Who knows?
All right,
whatever.
We should end this so I can produce
going
this
in circles
and go to
Knicks
bed.
win, Celtics lose 2-0 series lead for your New York Knicks.
Ugh.
And the Nets lottery is coming Monday.
Yeah, that'll be game 4. Either the Knicks will be up 3-0,
going for the sweep. Nets get the 6th pick, and the Knicks sweep the Celtics.
Boston plays better on the road. They do play well. Like the one thing I just have to think to myself is this is the Celtics. They did win 60+ games. Do they have the moxie they've been up 20 in both of these games?
Yeah.
Like, get your shit together and just go win game 3.
Finish the game, right? Yeah.
And it all changes. Like,
but do the Celtics quit if the Knicks go up big in this game 3?
I guess what's big?
Let's say they go up 20 something in the second quarter.
Well, I think if you're up, that would be a challenge. Yes, but I can't imagine the Knicks up 20 something in the second quarter. I just.
Well, I mean,
I can't.
Yeah.
I think
I'm just giving you an example.
Well, I'm giving you a goddamn answer. All right.
Okay, so mid third quarter, Knicks are up 20 something. Did the Celtics quit?
Probably yes.
Okay, so there we go. You heard it here first.
Well, we know the
Celtics
Knicks
will
don't.
quit. Yeah. Anyway, all right, Mike. Good show. What is that? Is that a lifesaver?
I'm just gonna stab my brain with this thing. Oh,
so shout out to Ty Butler, ESPN radio host that was on our show too. Always made fun of me this whole season. saying that the Celtics would steamroll the Knicks and they'd have no chance. And now, of course, he's nowhere to be found on Twitter. So come outside, Ty. Come outside. Even DM me last week. He's like, if the Knicks lose to the Celtics quickly, I have to come back on your show. I was like, all right. And now the Knicks are up 2-0 and he's MIA. So
This is well.
that's
I
my
will
guy.
say,
I'm just busting his balls.
credit
But
to me because I had to do this.
yeah, credit to you. Definitely.
I mean,
Definitely.
you know,
But nothing
it's
will
not
beat
fun.
the moment when the Knicks get eliminated at some point, and you get to smile about that. No matter when it is, it'll be a relief. Like Durant's foot on the line, it was a very big relief. So
Was it a relief?
it was a
Like
big
how
relief.
big?
Like big, like a big relief. I really thought the Nets were gonna win
And why would that have bothered you?
because I don't like the Nets
Why would them have winning beyond not liking them? Why would that have annoyed you?
because I don't like them. I don't. What do you mean beyond that? What can be beyond that? I don't
Yeah,
like
well, there's
them.
a reason you don't like
They
them.
talk shit. They were talking shit, and I don't like them. That's all.
It
You
would
know?
have been like the Nets won a title first before the Knicks, and
No,
you
I don't
would
care
have
about
annoyed
that.
you?
Everybody's won a title first over the
No,
fucking
no, I mean
teams
in the
that are-
basketball realm, not in.
No, it wouldn't. Wouldn't be. It wouldn't be that. It would be more of just like I don't like them.
So it's
You know
about
what I
the
mean?
fan base. It's all about fan bases.
Well, and the players at the time too. I didn't like the
Well,
players.
that's true.
Either. Yeah. So
The
Spencer
Knicks
Dinwiddie and Durant and this.
Dinwiddie was hurt.
Yeah,
Dinwiddie was hurt.
but he's
Landry
still.
Shamet.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Knicks are losing in 7. It's Landry Shamet, baby.
Yeah. Well, you know what the Celtics need? Jared Dudley. That's what they need.
No, they need Porzingis to play more than 13 minutes.
No, can't count on Porzingis. And this whole Knicks run, this entire Knicks run is coming full circle because it all started with trading Kristaps Porzingis and not giving him a big contract. That's how the first domino fell that led to right now where the Knicks are up 2-0 on the Celtics and Porzingis can't stay on the floor. Thank you.
This has been Bad Weather Fans, episode 263. Knicks take a 2-0 series lead, go into Boston, win both games. 91-90 is the final. Game 3 is on Saturday. It's a 3:30 start. I will be watching this, I think, at a bar.
Oh, at a bar too. That's gonna be tough.
Well,
man, that's tough.
My wife and I have not had a true date out since December.
You got to go to a restaurant with no TV, man. You got to go to like a
Nah,
nice
but
restaurant, a
we-
steakhouse, no TV that you can just.
Our vibe is we really like. Well, we're going to the beach. There's a beach bar I want to go to.
Oh my god, the game's gonna be on fucking full blast.
I am not giving in, so then it'll be on and we'll see it, and it is what it is. But I'm not conceding.
You're not changing your life for the New York
them.
Knicks.
Yeah, I'm not like whatever. Like
yeah, it'll be good to watch.
And then I can be around a lot of Knick fans, and
you're just gonna be one ball of stress watching that game on your birthday.
Nah, I don't think honestly. Like,
I gotta get Jess to film you if there's a last second shot for game winner. I gotta get her to film you. Like Hannah, my wife, filmed me when the Knicks won the Pistons.
I'll do it for the lottery.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it is a relief feeling. And it's it is not going.
So do that, Jess. If it's a last second shot, I know she listens.
She'll listen. To
Unlike my wife,
she's definitely
who
going to
never
listen to
listens.
this one.
What? Yeah,
she'll definitely listen. Although my wife, I told you, my wife listens on double speed.
So we sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
She's like, yeah. But
anyway,
all right. Good night, Alex. Good night. Just goodbye.
Okay. Let's go, Knicks.